Welcome back everyone to the Developmental Movement series. I'm Egwin from Scope of Life and Beyond Systems. Let's jump right into the next progression of those moves. What we've been discussing so far are pretty much some very fundamental rolling and crawling patterns that take us from literally lying flat on the ground like one layer further up until we literally sort of stand or still balance ourselves on the knees and on the hands. And now we take it one step further. We start to create a little bit more balance even in our body in terms of left and right stability. And this exercise simply looks like that. Again, I suggest to use a mat for this exercise, especially if you're working on a hard ground. If not, if you're somewhere outdoors on a nice grass area or somewhere in the woods or at the beach at best, then obviously you don't need a mat. Just use that soft surface to really enjoy yourself. We're going back into this position here. In this position, in this sort of basic four-limb stance, in this position, what we're going to do is we're going to simply lift one leg off the ground. Try to balance ourselves on the left knee and the left hand and try to slowly but steady reduce the pressure on the right side, which means that basically from here we're going to lift the right leg. We're going to open up the body to the side, just gently start to lift the right hand here off the ground. If you still need the fingers at the beginning, that's fine. Let's just do this gentle progression here, then come back down to the ground, do it on the other side. So you lift the leg, plus you also lift your whole pelvic ring, so you actually open your body up to the side. The left palm leaves the ground, the left ball of the hand leaves the ground, and just the fingers are barely touching the ground, and then you come back down again. You can do this progression in different positions, in positions where the legs are still further behind, like so, or closer together. Just try both of those variations, and eventually the idea is from here to go to the left side, for instance, lift the right side up and really completely lift the right arm off the ground, come back down, do the whole thing on the other side, lift, balance on the right foot and on the right palm, the left hand is completely off the ground, the left leg is completely off the ground, and then place them back down again. This is literally the next step of balancing on two contact points with the ground. We are still working on core stability here, obviously. Now, I know, once again, for some adults, those exercises are extremely easy, especially when you're used to working with yoga and stuff like that. But really, dial it down a notch. Really go extremely simple and easy. And use those specific patterns. Also use this specific position on the ground and really just work your way feeling into the structure, really noticing all the subtle changes, all the subtle necessities that your body suddenly brings up in terms of how to stabilize the shoulder, how to stabilize the elbow, how to stabilize the hip joint, how to stabilize the shin from rolling over when you're on the ground in this position here. Like so, and how to stabilize my weight on the shin and stuff like that. So really make sure to take it slow here, try to balance, because this is the foundation of what we're talking about. If you haven't watched any other videos of the Movement Development series, then I suggest you jump back onto my channel or click the link at the end of this video to one of the previous ones, where I really talk about why developmental movement patterns are so essential in recalibrating your movement and posture especially when you're already a little bit older, like not a child anymore, not in your teenage years anymore, but say somewhere between your mid-20s and whatever, however old you are. And so this is really important, because as soon as you're an adult, you don't really think in such simple movement terms anymore, normally. And that's what all of those training aspects here are really all about. They're about retraining the foundation on which all the movements that you normally do are built. And once you train this foundation, then the whole movement system changes. All the internal coordinational aspects for your regular day movement and for your posture, for walking, stability, and so on, they suddenly start to change, because you re-trigger something that you learned way before you copied any problematic patterns from society, from your parents, or from maybe even from stress levels out of your workplace, or wherever those patterns actually came from. That's the reason for this developmental movement series. That's why I always give such small bits and pieces, and that's also the reason why I don't really go into greater detail of, yeah, and look that this angle is precisely this and that angle is precisely that, and so on, because as soon as we go that detailed, again, a lot of that playfulness suddenly is pushed aside from the mental aspect again. And that's exactly what we don't want. We want playfulness. We do not want playfulness to be replaced by a mental, clear, 100% certain structure. That's exactly the point with all those exercises. It's about a basic posture, and then it's about playing within a certain frame of reference. And that's exactly what we do. The rest is just giving ideas for how to actually use this movement to stabilize joints and to coordinate the body. All right, see you soon in the next progression. Next time we are actually taking it one step further up already, and we'll leave the ground with the hands. And yeah, looking forward to that. Have a wonderful time. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. Other than that, make sure to like, share and subscribe if you want to stay up to date. Have a wonderful time. Thanks for watching. Bye.